Before we begin with today's market analysis, I would like to mention our new channel membership options. This is a special introductory offer which will open access to members-only trading strategy videos that are based on high-value, high-conviction investment strategies and are characterized by superior risk-to-reward metrics that target massive, market-beating returns over time. Please note, this is a limited time offering of just $9.99 per month, but members that sign up during this introductory period will be able to lock in this new low rate for the entire duration of the membership. Again, this early sign-up period will allow you to lock in this low introductory membership rate for life, and these new low introductory rates will only be made available for a limited time. Monthly membership prices will be going up after this short introductory period ends. With these comprehensive, members-only trading strategies, I only choose high-quality, high-conviction stocks that are easily accessible, with relatively low share price values that are designed for easy trade positioning, and combined long-term trading gains are expected to far outperform the monthly membership rate of just $9.99 per month. Join now to lock in your low introductory rate and start trading stocks with the pros. Now back to the video. Here we have the hourly price chart for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. So as we can see here, we're starting to get a bit of a bounce after seeing a very dramatic sell-off in the stock. These types of declines have not really been seen recently. You probably have to go back to the second half of June, roughly June 20, in order to see a sell-off that was somewhat similar in length. Although this one did extend a bit beyond those total declines in percentage terms. So currently, we are getting a bit of a bounce here. So we do have to kind of analyze whether or not, we can really take credence in this bounce, or whether this just kind of seems to be more of a random event. The reason that I kind of phrase it that way is because, we are seeing a bit of a bounce in some other stocks. I just finished a video on Amazon. People can take a look at that to sort of see what I mean here. But Amazon has experienced a bit of a similar bounce here, and it's occurring at somewhat random levels. It's occurring at levels that don't really show any major historical support zones. There's no major moving average support. There's no major Fibonacci support, things like that. It seems to be happening a bit randomly. And that does make me a bit skeptical about the validity of the bounce. And it does seem to be more of a broad-based bounce, like a bit of a relief recovery throughout the market more broadly, rather than people entering into Palantir specifically and trying to buy the stock at lower levels. So we should kind of take an assessment here to see whether or not we do believe, is this the final bounce? Is this the final bottom? Currently, we're seeing lows of 25.42. So the question here really is, do we believe our eyes here? Do we believe what we're seeing? And is this the end of the recent decline? So a couple points to point out here. I have kind of cautioning traders about a potential head and shoulders pattern that may have been forming. It was a bit of an uglier pattern when I first started to suggest it. It looked a bit more like that, which is a little bit harder to believe. I mean, the right shoulder is just a bit too close to the head, in my opinion. You can sort of see that here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But as we can see here, this pattern was developing, but it had not fully formed itself just yet. And this does look much more like a head and shoulders pattern. Like, this really does meet more of the requirements for what that pattern should look like. And as we can see here, whenever you're dealing with a head and shoulders pattern, the price projection is roughly equal to the distance between the head of the pattern and the neckline of the pattern. So we can kind of draw that here a bit, kind of zoom in here. We can just kind of see here so the neckline would be roughly equal to the highs, which came in at 29.83, and then these lows, which would really, you'd really have to consider this 27.70 level that I've been pointing to for a while as the potential neckline. So if we kind of bring this down here, we can see that this does roughly line up. I mean, it's almost exactly. It's kind of uncanny how some of these price patterns actually work out. I mean, you can see the projection here. The idea here would be that the downside price move, the downside follow through from the neckline after a confirmed break of the neckline would be equal to the distance between the head and the shoulders. And well, voila, it's kind of amazing how this stuff works out sometimes. We're seeing almost an exact. It's a little hard to get this drawn correctly, but we're seeing almost exactly, this is almost to the penny that we're seeing this price bounce. So even if this were to start to reverse here, now we are seeing enough of a bounce where this price projection here really did play out. I mean, even if we did see prices decline further, that would not invalidate the structure, or it would not suggest that this head and shoulders pattern did not play out. I would say it absolutely did play out. So the only problem here from here is judging whether or not this is the end. Like, have we seen a final bottom here, or are we getting a bit of a relief rally more broadly in the market that will be followed by another leg lower? So at the moment, the only thing that really makes me skeptical about this move is that we don't have any major support zones in this area. I mean, we can go back to roughly, this would be the July 3 trading session, where we did see lows of, looks like 25.77 would have been the low. And then today's low would have been 25.42. So roughly 25 cents in price difference here. 35 cents, 25 cents, roughly in price difference here. So these roughly do match up. I mean, I suppose that you could say that this would be the valid support zone, and that we're just trading in a very, much more volatile, broad-based sell-off that's not being directed at Palantir directly. So that can lead to a bit of slippage. It can suggest that, some of these other price zones might not be as completely accurate, but still 25 cents, 30 cents is really not much of a difference. So I suppose that you could kind of refer to this. I mean, we have been watching this potential support zone here, and then from there also the 50% retracement comes in at 25.20, just above 25.20. So we're talking about a 20-cent difference there. As far as this bounce, so there are a couple of regions that we can potentially point to here as a workable support zone. And then in addition to that, you can make the argument that the head and shoulders pattern did complete itself, met its target just about exactly, and now the stock may be ready to start moving higher. In the trading volumes themselves, we are starting to see some more encouraging activity to the top side. We can see that the green bars here are kind of outstripping and exceeding the prior red bars. So this does suggest that there is a confirmation here with the trading volume. The only other negative that I would potentially point to here would be the reading in the relative strength index, which does still suggest that there's bearish momentum kind of guiding this stock here. But that as well can be alleviated by the fact that we're also rolling out of oversold territory, and we could have a fair amount of room here to extend to the top side before you would even be coming into contact with that negative momentum reading. So here are some factors to watch. Some interesting price patterns that did play out here exactly as they should, which is quite interesting on its own. So here's the current market update for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR.